Well, good morning and happy Monday. It's Curt and Jen in the morning. This is our podcast. Hope you had a great weekend.
Yes, it's President's Day weekend, it's President's Day, so some people still have a weekend, Curt. We do
That's
not.
true. The weekend continues for many, many people. Of course, the national holiday means a lot of banks are closed, government offices are closed, your office might be closed too. And also, it's National Random Acts of Kindness Day, President's Day, and National Random Acts of Kindness today.
It
Uh, somehow those should go hand in hand, right?
is.
Yeah,
My
that's your
heart is
favorite.
happy. I do love that. Oh, okay. So let's celebrate by doing a random act of kindness, like mindfully. I try to do that as often as I can, but let's all try to mindfully do that today.
It's easy and it makes you feel good. How's that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
On the show today, Jen, you created chaos in your youngest daughter Macey's world over the weekend. Want to hear about that? And also, we asked, what's the most expensive date you've been on?
That's right. And something that stores are doing because the price of eggs are so high right now, it's kind of creative.
Mm-hmm.
And spreadable coffee. I'm not sure I'm on board with this.
What was it, Spreadable Coffee?
Spreadable coffee,
Hmm.
we'll talk about it.
If you could, would you drive to Europe? Drive your car to Europe if you could. And finally, how to protect your sensitive data up until the very, very end. Going to help you out with that and many other things today.
All right. I have to tell you a little quick story, Curt.
I can't wait.
So I went to Macey's school. My youngest daughter, she's in high school. She's a sophomore. And because I heard that they were selling Valentine's Day grams. Like they were gonna, on Valentine's Day, if anybody bought these Valentine's Day grams, you would get one on Valentine's Day. And I'm like, I had that happen in school a lot where I just didn't get one. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy one for her.
Okay.
So I went to
Good
the
mom.
school and I bought one, and I did not sign the card mom because I did not want to embarrass her. So I just put XOXO with a heart, and that's how I sign all my things with my daughters.
Right.
And with Pat too. XOXO and then a heart and then my like mom or Jen or whatever. So that's all I did. So
Okay.
Friday, I pick her up from school on Valentine's Day, and she gets in the car and she's like, "Mom, someone sent me a Valentine's Day gram and they did not sign the card, and we cannot figure out who it is. Like, my friends are low-key freaking out about this." I mean, she used all the crazy, terms, and I just turned around because Pat was driving. I was in the front seat. I turned around and I'm like, "I'm the one that sent it."
And
She's
did she
like,
freak out?
"Oh, how did you do that? Why did you do that?" And then I like, "Are you going to tell your friend?" And she's like, "Yes, we were freaking out. I was trying to figure out, we figured it was," I'm not going to say his name. "And I was trying to figure out how I was going to nicely reject him." I'm like, "Well, no need to reject. It's your mom. You can reject your mom."
How to nicely reject him. Wow. I thought she was freaking out because it was a guy she wanted to. All right. But it was mom all along. Are you pleased with yourself?
All day long. I mean, it was delivered first period, and all day long, she and her group of friends were trying to figure out who would have sent this to me. We got to figure this out. It was like this big mystery they were trying to solve. Anyway,
Sure.
I did not want to cause that necessarily. I thought she'd know it was from me, but anyway, whatever.
What? Well, we had, do you still have any snow on the ground where you're at there in Bothell?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Little traces.
We have just the way that our house is set up. We get a lot of shade on our driveway, all year long. There's the sun in the sky and the way the way it goes across the sky. Anyway, we still had a thick layer of ice on the entire driveway.
Yeah.
Like we're the only. I mean, I feel like we're the neighborhood jerks because it's like everybody else's driveway, all the ice. They didn't do anything. The ice just and snow just melted because of the snow.
But yours
We
did
look
not.
like we're being negligent because we've still got this snow-covered, ice-covered driveway that's going to make the delivery people fall or whatever. Anyway, if you were holding off on deliveries to our house due to the slippery driveway, it's no longer slippery.
Because it all melted. It finally warmed up enough. But you know what? When it was still cold, I don't know about your place, but here I'm in Cedar Woolley at Pat's place.
Hmm.
He had a lot of snow left, and it started snowing or raining, but it was still pretty cold. So it
Right.
made that ice and snow even slicker.
Oh, well, here, I mean, it started raining, but it was like 40 degrees. So I don't think well, you know what? I haven't gone out there today, so I shouldn't speak yet, I suppose.
Hopefully, you're safe and sound.
Yes, and we're also safe, even though there are my neighbor sent me a video. He's like, what are these things? I got these on video. What are these things? Are these moles? I'm like, all right, let me look at the video. A couple of possums in the side yard, just looking for some
Food.
scraps or whatever. Which, as I said before, if that's all that they would do, we could coexist. We could live in harmony together with the
That's not all
possums.
they do.
It's not all they do, and they're helpful. They take care of other critters and bugs that you don't want around, but they need to move out. So we'll figure out a way to do that too. Of course, I look at it and go, oh, cool, a couple possums, and Dana's like, they gotta go,
They gotta
which they
go.
do, which they do. So that'll be something else we're working on this week is how to relocate possums.
All right.
I know, not very exciting, but that was the weekend for us. It wasn't a very exciting weekend, I guess. I
You
don't have that
told
much more to
me
report.
you told me it was going to be a hashtag adulting weekend for you. So
And it ended up being an adulting weekend,
Yeah.
yes.
some movie news.
Mhm.
The new movie Captain America: Brave New World opened up and hit #1.
Okay.
Straight away, out of the gate, hit #1 at the global box office. Walt Disney Studios is expecting it to bring in $192.4 million by the end of today. And this is despite the movie receiving the Marvel Cinematic Universe's lowest grade ever, a B- from
Whoa.
ticket buyers in the Cinema Score exit polls.
Isn't that being kind of generous to say that no Marvel Universe movie has ever gotten less than a B-? I mean, some of them had to be stinkier than that.
Well, I have to take it as fact. I mean, I guess I could have researched it a little bit
No,
more,
I'm not.
but I
I'm
didn't.
not challenging you. I just think that there may be that when they say this, they do these reviews like, oh, it's a Marvel movie. Yeah, 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 B-. Instead of another movie might have got a
I
D.
don't
I
know.
don't know. I'm not saying being a conspiracy theorist. That was the first thing I wondered when I saw that. However, 192.4 million. That's pretty huge.
Who cares what the grade was?
That's right.
People
And I
are
like this.
watching it.
You put this pun in here. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is back with Avenge-ence. Avenge-ence. See,
Yeah,
like Avengers?
yeah, I get it. I get
Good,
it.
good one, Jen.
Are you excited about this one, Curt? This next one? The Goonies, a sequel is in the works, and this is for real.
I'm medium excited about it.
There's rumor, been all around since the first one. There's gonna be
Right.
a second. There's gonna be a second. Well, for real, it's here.
Well, we announced like last fall, I think. There's going to be a Goonies sequel. But that did not come to fruition. However, this time, as you just
Get
mentioned,
this. Warner Brothers just announced that Steven Spielberg and Chris Columbus are returning to produce it.
wow.
Chris wrote the screenplay in 1985 based on Spielberg's story. There isn't a director yet or plot details, so it's pretty early on, but it's promising that this is actually going to happen. So there you go.
How much of a fan are you of the Goonies?
I can't remember. I remember I watched it, but I couldn't tell you the whole plot line.
Yeah.
Isn't the house here locally?
That's in Oregon. The actual
Oregon.
house is in Oregon.
It's
And
still
that's
the
right, because the
PNW.
neighbors to that house are frustrated because so many people come by just to see the Goonies house. And anyway, that's what happens when you move in next to the Goonies house, okay?
Yeah.
People are going to go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
All right, this is the next story. It's about egg prices, right? Best I could do. All right. We'll probably get dinged for that one using a Beatles song.
I was at the grocery store Saturday to get some
Mhm.
eggs because we were making some cornbread. And I could not, I think it was almost $7 for a dozen eggs.
Sounds about right.
Freaking crazy. And the
Right.
guy was stocking it. I'm like, I can't believe this. He's like, I can't either. I really cannot believe how expensive these are. It's a record high. The price of eggs has soared to a record high over this past month, and some people are desperate for just one egg.
And they can get just one egg now, apparently.
Well, in New York,
Yeah.
they have applied this one egg theory, and they're calling it egg Lucy's.
Have you ever heard the word Lucy before?
No, well, I've heard of the word, but not like this. Why? Is there a
A
history?
Lucy was always like an individual cigarette, you share with your friend, hey, you got a Lucy? Just
I didn't
yeah,
know that.
not a whole pack, but just just a single cigarette.
So there's a
So
deli.
they're calling these egg Lucy's.
Yeah.
And they're doing it because many locals can't afford a full carton of eggs.
So they're selling it. They're selling single ones. There's some people are charging for a dozen eggs $12.
Right. but then it also says here that they're selling the three loose eggs, three eggs in a bag for 2.99. So that's still the same price per egg.
Yeah, it's
It's
about a
just that,
dollar an egg.
yeah. But the owner of this deli says it's better than paying at least $12 for an entire carton. That makes sense, especially if you don't eat the eggs that much. I can't believe that eggs are a dollar an egg.
Do you eat a lot of eggs at the you guys do?
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
we do too.
I mean, I can remember when I first met Dana, and she has very uh, strict
High
rules about eggs.
high
And
standards for
and
eggs.
there was a learning curve there. I was like, well, these are cage free. It's like they have to be cage free, and they also have to be this, and I don't know, vegetarian or grass fed, and then oh, it's got to be also grass fed and also grass finished or something like. I mean, there's a lot to it. So we were paying $6 or $7 for eggs back when they were just 99 cents.
Right.
Still, this is a lot of money for eggs.
Yeah. Well, now there's a way that you can they think that this is going to catch on because it is so expensive. Lucy's, egg Lucy's.
Lucy's. All
Yeah.
right. I like it.
There you go.
This is a fun story. There's a country singer who had two sold out shows scheduled or scheduled, depending on how you say that word. Max McNown is the guy. He's a country singer. He is all prepared to make his headlining debut in front of two sold out crowds at New York's Bowery Ballroom in New York City. So Max got a call saying, by the way, you know, we're going to have to bump you. You need to go find a new venue.
Oh my
You can't,
gosh.
you cannot have these shows at the Bowery anymore. Of course, Max is like, well, you want us to do what? Turns out they looked into it, and it turns out the reason that Max McNown got bumped was because Paul McCartney wanted to play there instead, which typically I think you'd say, what a jerk. I'm not going to move because of some big name.
I would say that. I
Yeah.
absolutely would say that. Like Paul McCartney should be respecting that and find a different freaking venue.
He's a Beatle. I
Yeah.
know. I love that. I knew you'd see that. So anyway, everything worked out okay. Actually, Max got to move to a different location. It held more seats, and so he actually ended up selling more tickets to his
Okay.
show. And he all and of course, you know, we're talking. We would not be talking about. I already forgot what his last name was, Mac McNown. If it wasn't for the fact that he got bumped by a Beatle, right? So
So
we
maybe this
talked
is
about,
working out for him.
yeah, he's talking about a great way to increase your sales. Although he did have this to say. Max said, "I'm disappointed we weren't able to get Paul to open for us. Like if they all would have stayed at the Bowery." He's like, "Yeah, Paul McCartney opened for us one time." I see that joke about uh uh I got to think back to it now. Who opened for me? Oh, I was doing a gig at Snoqualmie Casino, and a comedian at the time and now a host of the Price is Right, Drew Carey was on before me. So Drew did he had like from 8 to 10, he had a whatever. So then he left and I came on and spun music for the rest of the night. So
He opened for
technically,
you.
yeah. So
You're so cool, Curt.
thanks for that. Thanks, Drew.
I thought you would like this story. Did you see this?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, then you talk about it. Because I saw just little clips of it and I'm like, oh, this is like a boxing match.
Yeah. People went to a fight and a hockey game broke out, is what they say, right? This is for the Four Nations hockey game. This year, instead of doing an all-star game, the NHL decided to do this Four Nations face-off. So it's a short little round-robin tournament featuring Four Nations, Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the United States. And if you know anything about hockey, the teams, you know, the NHL teams are loaded with people from different countries. In fact, I would say that the United States is probably one of the lesser, you know, like for instance, the Kraken have got, I'd say the majority are from Canada, you
Okay.
know. So anyway, so they you know, it's kind of like what they do with the Olympics. They take all these players from these different teams and go ahead and they have them play. So when it came down to the USA Canada match, which was Saturday night in Montreal, it did not go well. Now, first of all, keep in mind that people have been booing the national anthem in Canada at these games.
That's rude.
Well, they're not very happy with us right now because we're trying to, you know, take over their country. So they've got a reason. But you know,
Okay.
yes, it is
There is
rude. And they even
that.
said before the national anthem, they even said, you know, over the speaker, hey, try to be respectful, you know, and then, oh, say, boo. So anyway, so I don't know if that's what triggered it or just, you know, but so the puck drops, boom. So that's the start of the hockey match, right?
Yep.
Gloves off immediately, and a fight begins.
They don't even
2
try
seconds
hitting the puck. They just drop their gloves.
right away. It was, I think it was Brady Kachuk and somebody. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So there's a fight like immediately with 2 seconds in. So those two players go off to the penalty box, right? All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna start again here. Drop the puck. Boom. Gloves off. Here we go. Two more people.
It's
Yep. Two more people going at each other. And then, so now I believe at this time there were 5 seconds off the clock because as soon as they started and the fight starts, they stop the clock, right?
yeah.
All right, here we go. Puck drop. Okay, play is going, play is going. Fight. Here we go. Literally within 9 seconds of the game starting, there were three fights, which to me, that just takes away from the game. I just want to watch the game, but I get it. They have their own rules and they have their own, I don't know.
Who won?
Who won?
Yeah.
Two of the fights, I would say the Canadians won, and one of the fights, the U.S. won.
I meant the game.
Oh, well, the United States won the game 3-1, which I'm sure was salt in the wound. Yeah,
USA.
yeah, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know if that was a political statement or maybe it was just that these people didn't like each other. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. But that was, yeah, that was how
Okay.
it goes. More sports stuff, though, that
Oh, I
you
love
found.
this. I love it. I used to be from the Department of Fun and Games when I worked in radio, so we did contests all the time. But you
Hmm.
know how they have those contests at big sporting events and they're near impossible to win?
Right,
Okay, so last night was the All-Star game for NBA for basketball.
right.
Curry won the MVP award last night, but there was a fan who won even bigger than he did.
Yeah, this is what wasn't the deal that, well, the kid's name is Jaron Barajas, and
18-year-old
he
college
is,
student, 18 years old.
yeah, and I guess the contest was is that he had to make first of all he was kind of up against Milwaukee Bucks star Damian Lillard. So Damian Lillard, the pro, was supposed to make three long shots from midcourt, the logo, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
Jaron just had to make one from way back. All right.
And with the clock winding down, I mean, go look up the video because it is fantastic. He hit the buzzer beater. He hit the long shot and won $100,000, which was all sitting in this like plexiglass
Mm-hmm.
box filled with cash. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he freaked out. The crowd went wild. I mean, it was awesome. And he thanked his dad. He's like, I have to thank my dad for this because his dad is the one who told him to shoot to the backboard, which he
Mm-hmm.
did, and won the cash.
That's pretty stinking cool. I
I
mean,
love it.
yeah, they have these, I mean, I suppose in baseball, they say try to hit a home run. I know at the cracking game, sometimes they're like, hey, if you can make a goal, you
In
win
this
X amount of
little,
money. But they make the
in
goal
this
like,
little,
it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, the goal is only like 6 inches wide. So
so great.
that's really
Anyway,
cool.
that's it.
Okay. I like that story. That was a good one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what?
Slow down. You're just looking at the picture, aren't you?
I am. I am looking at the picture, Curt Cruz.
I feel like every time we talk about Peeps, they manage to stay in the news by coming up with new Peeps flavors, right?
I don't know
Uh,
about this one.
And Easter is coming up, and obviously Peeps rather have kind of become synonymous with Easter. Now Peeps have a new flavor for you, but this is not a flavored. What would you call that? Like a
Marshmallow,
treat.
yummy.
Yeah, they have teamed. This is Peeps have teamed up a partnership with Promised Land Dairy for the new Peeps Sweet Marshmallow Milk, which it describes as a delicious limited time offering that delivers Easter delight straight from the cow.
That is a bunch of baloney. It doesn't come straight from the cow. They have to add a crap. I was going to say the bad word. A crap ton of sugar.
That's right. Well, though, this is what Promised Land Dairy had to say. They're dedicating to crafting the most delicious milk flavors daily. We're thrilled to introduce an exciting new seasonal varieties to our premium lineup with Peeps, the perfect partner in this limited time product.
I've never seen Promised Land Dairy here in the Pacific Northwest. Have you?
I don't pay that much attention. Probably not.
I will try it. I will try it if I find it and see.
Well, is this going to be just like when they used to have strawberry? Used to be able to put was it quick? Yeah, strawberry like quick in milk or something like that, and flavor it.
I don't know. Peeps Sweet Marshmallow Milk is available now in select grocers across the country through April 20th, but only while supplies last. I am going to mark my notes right now and
Mhm.
I am going to search it. I'm going to search for it. Peeps Milk.
Peeps milk.
Milk. And I will look this up and I will find out where it sold here.
I'm happy you're going to be the guinea pig for this one because I'm not interested at all.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Well, they've been teasing this special for weeks.
And I missed it. I didn't watch it. Did you watch any of it?
Yeah, I watched a good portion of it.
Okay.
We're talking about the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary special. I mean, because they had on Friday night, I think they had the concert, like the 50th anniversary concert, right?
Yeah.
And then they've been talking about this 50th anniversary special, 3 hours live last night. You say, were there any famous people in the audience? I mean, it was like as they panned the audience, it was nothing but A-listers.
So many, so
You're like,
freaking many.
Oh, like, hey, there's Tom Hanks, there's Jerry Seinfeld, there's Larry, what's his face, you know? So Lorne Michaels, of course, the creator of Saturday Night Live, was there as well, live from Rockefeller Studios, Studio 8H. A few of the highlights, I would say, they picked Steve Martin to do the monologue at the beginning. I thought that that was great. There's a lot going on. So this is just a few things. Having Paul Simon, he duetted with Sabrina Carpenter on the old Simon and Garfunkel song Homeward Bound, which was kind of funny. At one point, Sabrina, I think Paul was like, this is a song from 1976. And Sabrina said, I wasn't born then, and neither were my parents.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding?
Way to lay into it, Sabrina.
Oh my God.
Mike Myers popped on a bit with Maya Rudolph and Amy Poehler. He brought back his Coffee Talk, Linda Richmond and Coffee Talk. Adam Sandler had a pretty sentimental song about all the people over the years, and he was introduced on stage by Jack Nicholson, who was in the audience. I remember the Debbie Downer bits.
Yes.
But Debbie Downer was back with Rachel Dratch as her Debbie Downer character. If you don't know about that, she has a way of bringing down any, hey, here's some happy news. Yeah, but that's it. And I did enjoy Eddie Murphy was on impersonating Tracy Morgan to Tracy Morgan on a bit that they called I'm sorry, it was Black Jeopardy. That's what it was.
Oh.
Darius and Tracy, y'all seem like y'all might be related.
Well, James L. Jones was my biological father. James L. Jones impregnated my mother on the set of Claudine on Edgecombe Avenue in Harlem. You know what? I think we might be related.
I don't see it.
So that was Eddie Murphy, that entire bit doing a Tracy Morgan impression to Tracy Morgan. I liked that. And then finally, Paul McCartney did Golden Slumbers all the way through In the End, which is like the last 3 songs on Abbey Road. It was really cool. Lots of good music, lots of good bits.
I need to go back and watch some of that. I'm not a huge SNL fan. I just wasn't one that stayed up late when I was growing up. I was asleep. But there's the famous things. I looked this up because I did see this. I wanted to see Post Malone with Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was solid. There was actually, excuse me, some musical guests that they had. They had the B-52s were on with Devo, and Saturday Night Live alum Fred Armisen played drums on that. We had a reunited Fugees, Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean playing Killing Me Softly, which was great. And Lady Gaga came on, and she got together with Andy Samberg and did one of the old Lonely Island classics. Do you see if you remember this one? I'm going to play just a little bit of it, all right? Here we go.
Well, it's Christmas, and my heart is open wide.
Open wide.
Gonna give you something so you know what's on my mind.
What's on my mind? A gift real special, so take off the top.
Take a look in the side. It's my in a box. Not gonna get you a diamond ring.
So they said, they introduced that by saying, well, I want to do this song, but Justin Timberlake's not here, who did it with Andy Samberg. And Gaga's like, yeah, I can do that part. And nailed it. So there you go.
She had more colorful words than that, but that's awesome. Okay.
Also, I got an excuse to use a Boing special effect, which doesn't happen very often. I enjoyed that.
You did that quite nicely. Right. Our question of the weekend was, what's the most expensive date you've been on?
Mm-hmm. And I held off on sharing mine.
Okay. Well, and I want to hear it, but people were kind of being funny about it.
Good. We like funny.
Like Heather said, the one where I got pregnant. That's my most expensive date. And I don't know if you know what the deal is with this, but Stephen Kilbreath, he is our buddy.
Mhm.
He just put March 13th. I responded asking, can you share more details? And he didn't respond.
We'll find out. Yeah, I don't know what was special about March 13th. That's going to be maybe the day of his divorce, maybe, and I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
Brian said first wedding, most expensive date, and then Carrie, probably Cafe Juanita.
That's an expensive date.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Kat and I got to go there. We got treated, and it was one of the
Wow.
best meals we've ever had,
All
and
right.
the most memorable. But it's not cheap.
Is it like Canlis expensive?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Cafe Juanita.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I shouldn't knock. I've never been.
You need to take Dana there sometime. You better get a
Okay.
lot of US dollars though.
Becky says my first date with my ex-husband. Guess that makes sense.
Laurel says the original El Gaucho's downtown Seattle with fur-lined seats with Steve.
Her husband, right. I remember that. They used to have the fur-lined seats. Sarah said pit tickets to U2. Wow, that would have been cool to see from right up close. And then Andrea, hers was also music related. She said a Jimmy Buffett concert.
And then Jenny said we went to Wild Waves, then dinner. I paid. I think the whole day cost about $300. It was fun though. That's what she said.
Going back to obviously before I was married, you know, dating people. This is probably 1998. 99. Friend of mine, a longtime friend of mine, we'd never gone out on a date or anything like that. But you know, it was after my divorce. And so I kind of thought maybe there's something more here. And she said she was kind of upset about something. I was like, what's bothering you? She's like, well, I got this trip coming up. I got to do this business trip. And, you know, I don't want to go alone. I kind of like to have somebody go with me because it's to Europe. I mean, I'm going to go to Amsterdam and I'm going to go to London for a couple of days and then 3 days in Paris. And, you know, that's just kind of a drag. I'd like to, you know, and I can even bring somebody along if I want. And I'm like, I'll go.
This is your guys' first date?
Our first date was a trip to Europe. Yeah.
Wow.
And in the relationship with on for a couple of years after that. So, I mean, it was,
Who was this? Who is it?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't matter. It's nobody that you know.
That's an expensive date. Way to go, Curt Cruz.
Yeah, well, I was even concerned about, you know, even though the hotel and everything was paid for, it's like, oh, this is, you know, my first lesson in the difference in prices between things in Europe and the United States. So that was a good one.
Well, you know, if you would have waited on that date instead of flying over to Europe, maybe you could have driven.
Oh, let me go ahead and play this real quick. And then.
Did you like how I did that?
That's called a smooth segue, Jen Pirek. Very well played. Look at you. You're so proud of yourself. I love it. Okay, so talk about this. So if there was, this is basically, obviously theoretical, or if there was a bridge that connected North America and Europe, and they're saying the shortest distance between North America and Europe is from Maine to Portugal. That apparently at 3,100 miles is the shortest crossing.
3,100 miles?
3,100 miles. So they're just saying, hey, you know what? If it was possible and there was a bridge across the Atlantic Ocean, would you drive on it? And they also put in here, assuming there are proper facilities like rest stops and gas stations. You can't put a gas station out there. Anyway, that was the question. And about a third of people said, sure, I would do that. I would not.
You would not? How come?
Well, I suppose if there were rest stops and gas stations along the way, I don't know. It just seems like how many things can go wrong in 3,100 miles of a bridge out over the ocean?
That's 44 hours of driving if I did the calculation right. If you're driving 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, so probably not. I'm in with the I guess I'm with the 20% of people that said maybe, another 20% said no, and then I guess there was an option of hell no, and that was what another 30% said.
I'm a hard maybe on that one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it'd be cool, but I just think that's is that an accident waiting to happen? Sure, I don't know.
They're gonna be good. Okay, this is what I cannot get on board with.
Okay.
Spreadable coffee that you can smear on your toast. I guess there's this Swiss company online that's selling tubes of coffee that you can spread on your morning toast or croissant. It's kind of like a tube of oil paint. It's black and it's thick, so that you could put it on even like fruit, like a banana or something. And they're advertising it as a product that you can eat or drink. It's crafted from 100% fair trade Arabica beans, sweetened with organic Swiss beet sugar.
So,
You on board for that?
well, it says you don't drink it straight out of the tube, but they say it could be mixed with water to create an instant coffee. But that's, people saying, you know what, I can just spread this, like you said, they can just spread it on bread or banana or whatever. It sounds to me kind of like if you've ever had excuse me, the I kind of think of the Australian stuff, Vegemite. That's kind of a thick black,
Yeah. I know what
yeah.
you're talking
So,
about.
but,
All right.
what's that?
I said I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If
So
you're
that's what it sounds
interested-
like to me.
Yeah, if you're interested, it's a company called No Normal Coffee. No Normal Coffee. You can get the tubes online, a single tube for $17. They say it's equivalent to 20 cups of coffee. You can also get it in a 3-pack or a 6-pack too if you want. So there you go. Now you know, and now you can.
I don't want to play that one again.
Remember what you play. What's going
Right.
on? There's a new Apple announcement.
The Apple announcement. Yes, go ahead.
Is there or no? No, it's not. I read.
No,
I
no,
was
this
thinking
is
something
that-
else. I was
that-
reading that there's going to be a big Apple announcement
I
or
saw
later.
that too. I didn't want to talk about it because it said people are thinking it might be a new iPhone, but it also could be a new iPad.
I know.
Or it
Okay.
could be,
What's
whatever.
your thing? What is this?
This is just people that are concerned about protecting, I would say, their data, but also here's the deal. This is a case. This is a case for your iPad, right? It promises to protect sensitive data on your iPad upon death. They call this the death case. It's designed to hide embarrassing search histories, scandalous camera rolls, compromising evidence, or a secret second family. So for $1,500, you get this iPad Pro. It has a smart ring that you wear with pulse detection technology. And once it detects no pulse, I guess, that's when zip, it will
I feel like
erase.
so many things could go wrong with this.
I think so as well.
So many.
What if you, like, if the ring malfunctions and thinks you're dead, and all of a sudden all your data is erased, and you go like, what happened?
You know where I thought you were going with this? I thought it was going to be like, in case of death, open this up because here's all my passwords to get where you need to go to find my money, to get my, you know what I mean? Because when people die and you need to take care of all their affairs,
Mhm.
many times you can't find the passwords and get what you need to make it a smooth transition.
Oh no, this is way more nefarious than that. This is for the stuff that you don't want anybody to ever know about for any reason ever, I guess. This is the stuff that you want to die with you. So
Wow, okay.
if you're interested in spending $1,500 for that particular case for your iPad, there you go. It'll erase your information on death.
All right. Here's our last thing that's going to lead into our question of the day. So there's Reddit asked about tips for a stress-free vacation. Right? What are your tips for a stress-free vacation? Here's a few of them from that list, but we want to know yours. So some of them are plan less, try to go more with the flow. Don't cram a bunch of destinations into one trip, focus on one really good spot instead, and travel to smaller, less crowded places because as we all know, big cities are tourist traps.
Right. And so you might have one as well. I would say, you know what? I don't think a lot of people think about this, but one of the cruises travel tips is we try to take an extra day off when we get home. So rather than fly back in, after a week off, fly back in Sunday evening.
To go
and
back
then
to work on Monday?
Right back to work on Monday. We try to take a day off in between. Some people would say that's just a waste of a vacation day, but that's a tip from us if you want to use that one.
I kind of like that too because it's a day to regroup.
Mm-hmm. You need that.
So we want to know, what's your travel tip? What is your favorite travel tip? One of your travel tips. It doesn't have to be your favorite. We're going to post that on our Facebook page, Curt and Jen in the Morning, and we would love to get your feedback on it.
Yeah, and we'll have your answers for you tomorrow. Again, like, follow, subscribe to the show here. We would appreciate that greatly. Very, very much.
Can I also say that tomorrow there's a psychologist who studies couples came up with 5 questions. And couples who can answer these 5 questions are the happiest couples. So I know I've already read the questions. Pat and I have some work to do. So I'll share them tomorrow. Okay.
I look forward to hearing the questions.
Have a good Monday. Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and laugh. Have a good one. Thank you.